At Petco Park, first baseman Eric Hosmer always worth the price of admission, and now he is heating up at home his last 10 games here. A great batting average and big-time production. On the road this year, Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman for the Reds, also red hot as he continues to do damage away from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Welcome back to Petco Park, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. With Mark Sweeney, I'm Jesse Agler. It's game 2 of a 3-game weekend series between the Padres and the Cincinnati Reds. Redlegs took the opener last night, so no chance to see closer Brad Hand, but today he got some very good news after he blew a couple of saves in April. Hand comes back named National League Reliever of the Month for the month of May.
So deserving for Brad Hand, and we actually go back to last year, and you got consistency from Brad Hand. Well, the month of May, 11 saves, unbelievable numbers. You see the ERA, but I think that really the reason is the improved slider and also the usage of the slider. That has been an uptick because you can see has that breaking ball to go with in his hip pocket. Obviously mid-90s fastball, but Brad Hand is well deserving for this award.
A couple of the best pitches you'll see all season we just saw in the month of May from Brad Hand. There's another award winner in the house tonight, Scooter Gennett. He had a home run in the game yesterday and today named National League Player of the Month in the National League. It's just been an incredible few weeks for Scooter Gennett.
You think about the Cincinnati Reds, you think of Joey Votto, not Scooter Gennett. Well, Scooter Gennett is changing that. He's been the MVP the first 2 months. Obviously, you see the Player of the Month in the month of May. He is pounding the baseball. 8 home runs, 6 of those have come on a first pitch, so watch that tonight. But 24 RBIs, very productive from the second base position. The Reds know they have a gem in Scooter Gennett.
Scooter and the Reds did their thing last night. Padres will do theirs here tonight. Eric Lauer will make the start, and when we come back, manager Andy Green will give us some insight on the young left-hander.
Welcome back to Petco Park, where Eric Lauer will be making his 8th start of the season, and so far he's been inconsistent. He allowed 5 runs on 2 1/3 innings against Miami on Monday, but only allowed 1 run in 6 innings against the Nationals. in the start before that. Manager Andy Green says he's not concerned with the inconsistency. He said that's par for the course when you have a rookie pitcher in the big leagues. But here is what he wants to see from Lauer on the mound tonight. Take a look.
I think more than anything, when he's pitched ahead in the count, he's had success, and I know he had some trouble putting some hitters away last time around, but I think if he gets on the mound and it's conviction over perfection, just throw every pitch with conviction and believe that you're going to have success, and then just go out on the attack, and then good things have happened for him when he's pitched like that.
And guys, Lauer has made some improvements to his mechanics, specifically leaning in on his front leg and mixing up his pitches. He's going to be 23 years old tomorrow. It's his birthday tomorrow, so he's hoping to ring that in with the win. Well, coming up, the Padres will look to see if they can even out the series, take one against the Reds. Padres, Reds, first pitch coming up next on Fox Sports San Diego.
Brought to you by CIN Casino. Opening in 2019 is CIN's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. By Petco, the pet company, and by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. Middle game of a 3-game series between the Padres and the Cincinnati Reds. Weather report brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 70 degrees, minimal wind, beautiful, beautiful early evening.
Oh,
here
what
at
a
Petco
night.
Park. Yeah. With Mark Sweeney and Annie Heilbrunn, I'm Jesse Agler. Don Orsillo and Mark Grant will be back on Monday night when the Padres open up a 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. Last night, a 7-2 win for Cincinnati here. Walker Lockett made his big league debut. He said afterwards, nerves were a part of it. And perhaps the thing that could have tipped us off to that were the walks, not something he's known for, and they were a big part of the game last night. Jim Riggleman has filled out his lineup card here. Former Padre manager is the interim skipper of the Cincinnati Reds, and a little bit different than last night, but mostly the same cast of characters. Jose Peraza going to move up to the leadoff position. You got Jeanette and Votto to follow here in the first. Eugenio Suarez, Adam Duvall, Scott Schebler in the middle of the order. Kurt Casale will make his Cincinnati Red debut, batting 7th. Pitcher hits 8th again, and that means that Billy Hamilton will bat 9th. On the mound, as Andy told you, he'll celebrate his 23rd birthday tomorrow. Eric Lauer going to try and give himself an early B-Day present.
Time to take a look at the scouting report. An advanced pickoff. He has 4 pickoffs on the year. The Padres, as a staff, have 10. So watch that to be something to look at. And also the command is critical. It's obviously the fastball command, but watch the breaking ball tonight. They're going to try to throw a few more breaking balls to these Reds hitters tonight.
Behind Eric Lauer, the Padres will try and play a strong defensive game. You got a Gold Glove winner over at first base in Eric Hosmer. Jose Perella at second, Freddie Galvis at short, Christian Villanueva manning the hot corner. Outfield left to right tonight, Jankowski, Margot, and Franmil Reyes back in the starting lineup. A.J. Ellis does the catching for Eric Lauer. Well, every time you take a look at this place, you go, yeah, this is the place. This is where you want to be, and there's no doubt about that for all of us and for Eric Lauer. And we're underway with the first pitch fastball to Jose Peraza. It's a called strike, 0-1. And Peraza at 265 this year is a speed threat. You always got to think about the bunt. If he gets on, he likes to run, and he sends this one over towards the line. Jankowski, though, has also got plenty of speed. He's able to make the catch. 2 pitches, 1 out for Eric Lauer.
Well, outfield defense going to be a priority tonight. Travis Jankowski shifts to left field. And the best outfielder, in my opinion, on this club is Travis Jankowski. The jumps, the reads, also the speed.
So Jankowski, who's really been playing all over the outfield for the Padres since coming up from AAA El Paso, in left tonight, is tested right away and passes that test with flying colors. And now, the National League Player of the Month for the month of May, Scooter Gennett. We saw his act last night at his 11th home run of the season. That leads the Reds. It really is one of the more interesting stories in baseball going back to last year.
Yeah, that home run came off Robbie Erlin, left on left, so not surprising. He does hit in a home run ballpark, but as you can see, has power to all fields. That ball to center field last night, but this is a great story for the Cincinnati Reds.
Gennett comes in. You see the 341 batting average there as the leading hitter in the National League. He and Matt Kemp are both 341 hitters. And before play tonight, he is technically ahead of Matt Kemp by 2 1,000ths of a point.
Give him the title.
Absolutely. He's got about 40 more at bats than Kemp does, so quite a few more hits as well. But he's at 341-2, Kemp at 341-0 coming into play today. But again, those are your 2 leading hitters in the National League. That's a foul ball. And still 1-2 from Eric Lauer, making his 8th start, and a pretty good test against this Cincinnati batting order.
You know, Jesse, it's going to be a test too also early in this game. A lot of shadows that you're going to see. Really what affects is this picking up the spin of the baseball. See if the breaking ball comes into play.
On 1-2, Gennett fouls another one away. As a hitter, different types of pitchers give you different problems or not with the shadows?
Well, not really. It really has a lot to do with the breaking ball, because you see more. It's almost a black sphere that you see. You don't pick up the spin, the rotation that you would like to see on a typical night game.
That's a fastball, and now 2-2.
Now both sides have to deal with it, but when it comes down to it, we always hear deception. If you have deception in your delivery coupled with shadows, that could give you problems.
So Gennett battling here. Pitch number 7 in the AB coming. And Gennett wraps it past Hosmer down the right field line. That's going to be more extra bases for Scooter Gennett. He is on his horse, headed for second base. Reyes plays it cleanly, but a stand-up double for Scooter Gennett. His 14th 2-base hit of the season, and the National League Player of the Month in May. Homered in his first June game last night, and now a double in his first at bat here today.
The command is to his glove side, and you'll see that. The breaking ball that's elevated. You can see Scooter Gennett getting on top of that, driving it past the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. But you have to get on top of those pitches, and so many times you're getting that loop in your swing. Does a nice job getting his hands on top.
Joey Votto now, and obviously a long way to go for Gennett when it comes to the batting title. He's hitting 341 on June 2nd. He's probably not going to be there on September 2nd. But if he is still in it late in the year when these two teams get back together, you got to know something. No Red has won a batting title since Charlie Hustle.
Wow.
Pete Rose did it in 1973 as a 338 hitter, and since then, not any of those other big Red Machine years. Nobody from that 1990 World Series champion team, nobody from that great team you guys had in '99 has won a batting title for Cincinnati. Votto's come close a couple of times. He was an MVP 8 years ago, runner-up last year. Still looking for his first hit of this series. Jankowski started back. Now he catches up to it, charging in. That is out number 2. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, light up the dark night. Matt Harvey is pitching for the Reds. You remember him with the Mets. And it's time to light him up. He's allowed 10 home runs this year. He's given up 4 home runs and 7 starts against the Padres. And clean outfield defense. We've seen that from Travis Jankowski early in this game already.
He has recorded both put out so far. Runner on second, 2 out for the third baseman, Suarez. 1 for 4 with a single, a walk, and a couple of runs scored last night for the guy who leads the National League in runs batted in. Another one everybody expected.
Yeah, well, Eric Lauer pitching up top of the strike zone. You would think that it would probably be more fly balls, fly ball pitcher. So outfield defense is at a premium tonight.
Saw Renfroe get the start in right field yesterday. Franmil Reyes today. Andy Green just trying to balance it best he can. Offense, defense, keeping guys fresh, keeping them sharp. A little bit of a balancing act. Renfroe committed a pair of errors in the game last night, and Hunter at the plate has looked really good since coming off the disabled list. Andy seems to be very happy with his approach and the results.
Yeah, and also seeing that 2-strike approach, especially in his first at bat, going the other way.
Certainly a possibility. We'll see him at some point tonight. That's a very dangerous bat off the bench. 2 balls and a strike now to Eugenio Suarez. He'll be in there most days for Cincinnati.
I think what fans don't realize is that you're typically playing every day in the minor leagues, then you come up to the big leagues, and now you have to deal with being that bench player or getting sporadic playing time. Very difficult transition.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Good fastball there up in the zone to Suarez. It's not just in the minor leagues that Hunter Renfroe and those kinds of guys are used to playing every single day. I mean, it goes back to college and high school. I mean, they were star players, most of them. You see Suarez and Javi Baez at the top of the National League. Freddie Freeman and the Braves will be here on Monday. Talk about an interesting team to put your eyes on this year. Lauer trying to work a clean first inning. 95 on that fastball.
Yeah, that's the aggression that Andy Green's talking about. If you can pitch at the top of the zone, vary that speed of the fastball, that's his best fastball of the night.
Lauer had a rough one on Monday against Miami, took the loss, couldn't get out of the third inning. Gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in the first inning that day. Today, he is close to a clean getaway, but now a full count on Suarez with another good, talented, powerful hitter waiting in the wings. Adam Duvall is on deck.
You know, Jesse, and that's a 180 average on deck too, so you pick your spots, but you also have to realize too, with 2 strikes, what is your go-to pitch? You rely on A.J. Ellis, the catcher, tonight.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. It'll be a payoff pitch to Eugenio Suarez, and it'll be inside ball 4. So walks were things that caused trouble last night, and we'll see if this one comes back to haunt Eric Lauer or not. But like you said, you're dealing with a guy hitting over 300, and now a guy who has really struggled this year, though he has hit the ball hard.
Well, Jesse, the interesting thing too, you look at the starts of Eric Lauer. He's allowed a walk in every one of his starts. A high of 4, but those are some of the things that you're going to have to clean up. The young left-hander.
Duvall back in the starting lineup. He came off the bench in last night's game. Reds outfield is really an interesting story, and I think it parallels a lot with some of the decisions that Andy Green and the Padres are having to make. It's that tightrope of trying to win games versus developing young players. It's not always the easiest thing to do at this level.
And Jim Riggleman, the interim manager, is focused on one thing. It's about wins. You get an opportunity to be a manager again in the big leagues. With all this young managing styles, Jim Riggleman's one of those guys who wants to lasso this opportunity, and it's what wins and losses for him.
So Lauer dealing with a little bit of base traffic here in the top of the first inning. A 1-out double, now a 2-out walk. And he goes to work on 29-year-old Adam Duvall. Former Giant weights. And the curveball stays up, 1-0. Duvall, of course, came over from San Francisco at the 2015 trade deadline. He was sent to the Reds in the Mike Leake deal. And Duvall's really turned into a pretty nice player for the Reds. He plays better defense than you might expect. 31 home runs a year ago. here at the All-Star game 2 years ago at Petco. He participated in the home run derby and played in the game. Lauer gets that, and now 2-1. No chance for a pickoff at first base. They're playing behind the runner Suarez. Mark told you the scouting report, Eric, has already picked off 4 runners in 7 major league starts. 2-2. Clayton Richard led the National League last year with 8 pickoffs. That was in a full season. Lauer's got 4. There's Clayton. Joey Lucchese's got a couple. Hopefully back, not necessarily this coming week, but the next turn through the rotation after that. 2 on and 2 out. Top of the first inning at Petco. And Duvall takes strike 3. Good timing for the first strikeout of the night for Eric Lauer. He works a scoreless first. Any damage in the run column, and now the Padres will try and do some damage. Padre lineup brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Travis Jankowski leading off for the second time in 2 games this series. Hosmer to bat second and Perella third. In the middle, Villanueva, Reyes, and Galvis with A.J. Ellis, Manuel Margot, and Eric Lauer, the pitcher, rounding it out. Andy Green has had to use a lot of different lineups this season, but he has found a nice consistent, for the most part, 1-2 at the top, and that's a different looking Matt Harvey.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report from Matt Harvey, 29-year-old, the seventh overall pick by the New York Mets. Think about what he has to do. It was a failed experiment in New York. It was unbelievable, but this is a second chance in a Cincinnati Reds uniform and a possible trade chip if he indeed shows that he can make some adjustments.
It's been a stunning journey for Matt Harvey, you know, front to back, top to bottom. You think about it, like you said, 7th overall, made his major league debut 2 years after being drafted, started the All-Star game at Citi Field the year after that, and it looked like this guy was going to be the next of all those great Met pitchers over the years. Jankowski's speed pays off. Pressure the defense, he did. And Casale, the brand new catcher for Cincinnati, in his first game as a Red, unable to make the play, and Jankowski reaches to start the game on an error by the catcher.
As you said, Casale coming over from the Tampa Bay Rays. He pounces out and airmails this ball. Votto gets the grab, but Jankowski's speed is too fast. He comes down and not enough time. Putting the pressure on him. Casale's frustrated with himself with that throw.
Yeah, just picked up the other day, and first chance of your first game, you miss out. Well, we saw the first run of the night last night be a product of speed. It was Billy Hamilton walking and then running himself around the bases. We'll see if Jankowski can return the favor here tonight. He goes on the very first pitch, a high fastball and an easy stolen base for Travis Jankowski. His 9th in 11 attempts, and a rough start for the new Red catcher.
Jesse, you remember last night, Jankowski gets on with a single and then stays at first base. Eric Hosmer hits into the double play. Tonight, they're not wasting any time. The aggression of Travis Jankowski. Watch the break. That lean that base stealers always have. That's beautiful. Setting the tone early.
So Travis puts himself in scoring position and dirties the uniform here in the bottom of the first inning. Harvey and Casale, both Connecticut guys, working together for the first time, of course. And Hosmer, for the second straight night, loses his bat.
Well, if you're Jose Perella in the on-deck circle, watch your chicklets.
Where did you stand on deck?
Not close if they did this. So many guys have the pine tar, the sticky stick that's on there. Then obviously the batting gloves help. But when that starts coming out of your hands, you start gripping it a little bit tighter. It's not a good scenario if you want to be hitting in the batter's box. See the tape on the bat.
Last night, I think we gave Hosmer a silver medal when he sent it down the first base line. This time, it's bronze. It just went behind home plate. Not as much distance.
He's warming up.
Yeah. Ball and a strike with Jankowski at second base. Puts in the fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Evens the count. And talk about Harvey's ups and downs in a Met uniform. Perhaps the defining moment of his Met career will be an at-bat against Eric Hosmer. Game 5, the deciding game of the 2015 World Series. Harvey convinced Terry Collins to let him go out there in the 9th inning. Mets had a 2-0 lead. And Hosmer doubled home Lorenzo Cain. That made it 2-1. That was the end of Matt Harvey's night. As Hosmer rolls one foul. A few minutes later, Hosmer is scoring the game-tying run on a ground ball. You remember the wide throw from Lucas Duda, ironically now a Royal. And Kansas City would end up scoring 5 times in the 12th inning in the game that won them their first World Series in 30 years.
Well, that was Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight, and he had credibility on his side to be able to make that decision on his own.
Hosmer's seen him once already this year. Harvey, you may remember when the Mets were in town, pitched a couple of mop-up 9th innings for New York. And he gets him out for the very first time. Hosmer had been 5 for 5, including the postseason. So that's out number 1 here in the first. The Reds defense is brought to you by Cadillac. Got a look already at the catcher, Kurt Casale. He's had an eventful first few minutes as a Cincinnati Red. Votto and Jeanette on the right side of the infield. Peraza and Suarez on the left. Billy Hamilton anchors things in the outfield with Schebler in right, Duvall in left field. And obviously Matt Harvey on the mound.
You know, Jesse, at this point, we haven't seen Travis Jankowski steal third too much. Not a bad opportunity now.
That one will go to the backstop. He won't have to. A wild pitch by Matt Harvey moves Jankowski 90 feet away.
You know, if you look at Matt Harvey and watch his stuff, it's the random command issues that you see in his starts. See him putting his head down, wondering where that 92-mile-an-hour fastball is going. Obviously a wild pitch. And advancing Jankowski 90 feet.
Well, Travis, I think all year since he's been here, has led the team in dirty uniforms. He's only adding to that total here tonight. And Perella ahead in the count. He's going to get that run home, maybe more. Hamilton chasing it back, and he will get there to make the catch. Travis will jog on home, and the Padres score first here tonight against Cincinnati.
Well, that error on Casale really hurt the Reds, but Jankowski's speed set up this scoring opportunity. That's what you need. You got to play from ahead, and the Padres, that's a good formula. Nice hitting by Jose Perella.
Do you think his teammates aren't giving him a hard time about not having a home run this year?
Yes.
It looked pretty good off the bat and almost to the track out in center. Hey, you got your job done in that situation. Speaking of homers, though, here's Christian Villanueva. He takes the first pitch fastball. Christian cleaning up for the second consecutive game against the Reds. 15 home runs. Most by far of all rookies in the National League. You know who's second? Franchi Cordero. Couple of exciting guys in his Padre batting order. Hopefully Franchi back sooner rather than later. He's on the disabled list.
So I'm doing some early work today. That's a good sign. Let's get Franchi back. Developing skills, and a lot to love about Franchi Cordero.
Three balls in his strike now to Villanueva. Harvey floating a few fastballs away from these right-handed hitters. If it continues, the Franimal waits on deck. I believe Eric Lauer was the guy here who first introduced us to that nickname, but Franmil said in a Twitter Q&A this week with the Padres that Glendon Rush is the one who gave him the nickname down at Elsinore. He's
I love Glendon Rush. If he gives you a nickname, it's gonna stick.
Villanueva off the handle, and Duvall gives it the look-see. He's running out of room, and he just runs out of room.
How about Eric Lauer in the dugout? I mean, it's typically
you're talking about the shadows, though. He's got you got a funny angle with the sun.
Well, you got the starter. Typically, you would be sitting on the bench waiting for your opportunity. He looks like he's in between starts.
There's a looseness to him. I think we saw that even in his big league debut at Colorado. He
youthful exuberance, we'll call it.
He's taken hat wearing lessons from Will Myers, I think, this past offseason. Another foul ball from Villanueva. That was the 7th pitch of this at bat, and the 17th of the first inning for Matt Harvey. That was very Myers-esque.
Yeah.
You just sort of sit it right on top, tilt it down a little bit.
It's a starting pitcher right there, hanging out.
Only thing missing, a bubblegum bubble. Another foul ball, and Villanueva, it's fun, you know, because the first pitch home runs obviously are exciting, and that's been the bread and butter for him this year. But seeing him working at bat this way, it's a sign of progress.
And you know what, Jesse, when he slows down, he can go the other way too. That's going to be the developing trait with that power.
He loses the bat, but this will end the inning. Votto makes the play, but the Padres get one in the first against Matt Harvey, lead 1-0.
Is taking in the amount of information at the big league level with what he already knows and what got him to the majors. There's so much information when you get to the major league level, and it's so good, it's so thorough that guys want to take in all that information, but they're trying to find a way to complement that with what they lean on, what their strengths are, what they innately know how to do. And so they want to learn to kind of balance the two. And with Eric Lauer, one of the things that he prides himself on is swing reading. He's able to look at the hitter in between pitches and kind of look for things that maybe aren't on the scouting report. And so that's one of the things that he wants to bring back here, pitching at the major league level. not relying so much on the scouting reports, but also relying instinctively on what he knows how to do. And Jesse, Mark, I'm sure you guys can speak more to this, just balancing act of all that information overload and not overthinking.
You know, Andy, that's a great point, and thank you very much for that. You think about Eric Lauer and his development and how he's going to be able to develop quicker in reading those swings and making adjustments on the fly, but also communication between he and the catcher. A.J. Ellis is one of those guys who wants to have those conversations. You know, Austin Hedges is that guy. So that's going to be to speed up that development that we're seeing at the big league level now.
It's funny because, and it's such a good point by Andy, I feel like we usually have that conversation with a hitter. You know, we're talking about Franmil Reyes, and hey, I saw on video that he likes to throw this pitch in this situation. Pitchers, I mean, it's the same kind of thing, and you're coming up from the minor leagues and you're learning the league a little bit, and how a hitter is going to react to something you do is maybe completely different than the way he'll react to somebody else.
Yeah, you think about it from a young pitcher, they're watching highlights most of the time on all these highlight shows that they're showing all this stuff, so that's what they're reading. But for Eric Lauer, that's not a typical trait that a young pitcher is going to have. He's just bringing his stuff and then adapting with the league. That is beyond his years when you think about how he is mentally.
Casale looks at a curveball just outside in his Cincinnati debut, trying to make an impact at the plate. He committed an error that led to a Padre run in the bottom of the first inning. Best of those highlight shows, by the way, my opinion. Whip Around on Fox Sports 1. You got your Kevin Burkhardt, you got Sweeney. Casale tomahawks this one down the left field line, and boy, he made up for that error in a hurry. His first at bat as a Cincinnati Red is a home run. Last year at Tampa Bay, he played in only 9 big league games. He went 3 for 9 with a homer, and now he ties the game 1-1 here in the second.
Well, that's got to feel good after that error in the first, as you said, Jesse. Watch the reaction of Eric Lauer, the frustration of that location. Glove side command, so that's the thought process in the Reds if they're watching the scouting reports. In video on Eric Lauer, his misses are on that glove side, so you can look for that.
He almost hit it here. Matt Harvey now in the 8th spot. He goes after the first pitch, fouls it back. As a Red, Harvey is 0 for 8 with 3 strikeouts in his career. A 118 hitter. Good curve, and now 1-2. It looks really weird seeing Matt Harvey in a Cincinnati Red uniform.
It does.
Not there yet, not used to it. This is his 5th start with the Reds.
You know, guys, all of us that are fans of the game of baseball saw Matt Harvey come onto the scene, said, uh-oh, these Mets are going to be led by Matt Harvey for years to come.
Takes down the middle, and strikeout number 2 for Eric Lauer. Second out here in the second inning. Number 9 hitter Billy Hamilton. A little bit surprised he's in the starting lineup tonight.
Well, man, it was a train wreck in the 9th inning last night. Running into the wall off of Freddie Galvis's triple.
Trying to bunt his way on that. Hit him. He was out of the box, and he's out. That's the way this inning is going to come to an end. He knew it. If you're in the batter's box, it's a foul ball. If you're out of the batter's box, you're out. He was, and he is. 1-1 in the middle of the second. question. Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag ValleyViewTrivia. Name the reliever who tossed 3 or more innings to earn a save the most times in Padre history. That is relevant because last night Michael Lorenzen picked up a 4-inning save for the Reds against the Padres. That was a story in and of itself, but the Padre reliever, that's the trivia question, who has the most 3+ inning saves.
I'm not going to guess right now, but I know it's not the future Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman.
Probably not. No, it was that's a good hint though, because you got to start thinking about a different era. I've got a name that jumps right to the front of my head, so I'm going to go like taking the SAT. I'm going to go with my gut. I'll reveal it later, but there was one name that just popped right into my head.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going too.
Honk honk.
Yeah.
Reyes has put himself 3-0 against Matt Harvey to lead off the bottom of the second inning. We did not see Franmil last night. Started all 4 games against Miami earlier this week. Homered Monday, homered Tuesday, homered Wednesday. Not a bad couple of days at the office. And boy, that is about as hard hit a foul ball as you will see down the right field line. Now the count full.
Yeah, he looks like a left-handed pull hitter when he goes the other way. And I say that with all due respect. Reminds me of a Phil Nevin approach. It's back-to-back nights. I mentioned Phil Nevin, by the way.
It's your guy. Payoff pitch is rocketed right up the middle for a base hit. My goodness. Earlier this year, when Franchi Cordero told us that Franmil Reyes hits the ball harder than I do, it was a little bit hard to believe because we've seen what Franchi has done. I believe it.
You know, I hear so many times about exit velocity. This is about staying back and cutting it in half. Watch out. Absolute bullet up the middle.
So Franmil right back in the act. A lead single and a tie game in the bottom of the second inning. Are you saying you don't want to hear about exit velocity?
No, it's not. It means you're squaring it up to me.
113.3.
That's quick.
That's a lot. On a line drive back up the middle. Came in at 93. Went out at 113. Here's Freddie Galvis, who again is in the starting lineup. Has been every game. And that's a base hit to right field. Franmil thinking about trying to go first to third. He'll be held up by Glenn Hoffman. Schebler gets it back in, and the Padres, who scored a run without the benefit of a base hit against Harvey in the first inning, have back-to-back singles to start the second.
Yeah, Freddie Galvis is starting to wield that wand. Saw the triple last night. He's starting to drive the ball, but also this is smart hitting. Hitting that ball in between first and second with first base occupied. It's an easy single for left-handed hitters.
Now 5 for 15 in his career against Matt Harvey. They got a little bit of history going back to those National League East days. A.J. Ellis at the plate. Rafi Lopez got the start last night. Catcher takes strike 1. He has been really, really solid at the plate as of late. Signed a non-roster deal with the Padres just before spring training began. Pros pro, all of those cliches apply to A.J. Ellis.
You know what's a compliment for A.J. Ellis, and a lot of people don't say it, is he doesn't give in, doesn't give up at bats. That's what Matt Stairs, the hitting coach, wants. He's the example.
He had some really good stuff to say to Kevin Acee in the Union Tribune in the last week or so, and he talked about really using the different people in the Padre clubhouse as examples and learning from them. He said there's so many smart people around, you'd be a fool not to try and learn more. And I think that's so neat because you got a guy 37 years old. Look, he's accomplished plenty in this league, but he's out there trying to get better, trying to learn more, trying to pick up some things.
And you know what, Jesse, former teammate of mine in Los Angeles, and he's been that way from day one. He had to go beyond his work ethic and all the traits that people marvel at. It's about being intelligent with the game as well.
Harvey falling behind again. Now 3 balls and a strike. Number 8 hitter Manuel Margot waiting on deck. Hawaiian shirt night. With Sally and Harvey talking about New Haven style pizza.
Can't go wrong with East Coast pizza.
I agree with you. Very much so.
I'm a big fan. I actually pounded 2 pieces of pizza tonight.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
In the ballpark?
Yes. Great pizza at the ballpark.
Reyes at second, Galvis at first, not the two speediest Padres. Took something off, and that was a fastball, but it was inside. Ball 4. First walk of the night issued by Matt Harvey. Bases loaded, nobody out, and a concerned look for the Cincinnati manager. Well, for Manuel Margot, this would be a wonderful jumping off point to get it going at the plate. Bases loaded, nobody out, tie game against Matt Harvey.
Yeah, typically Manny Margot loves the first pitch in this situation. Runners in scoring position.
Margot does have 1 home run this year. He takes. And at the top of the zone, Harvey in front, 0-1.
Now defense straight up in the outfield.
Huge at bat for Harvey with the pitcher waiting on deck. The 0-2 to Margot is kind of reached for. Oh, what a piece of hitting by Manuel Margot. On 0-2, he sends it the other way. Reyes scores easily. Galvis scores standing up. A 2-strike, 2-run double. Let's take a look at the Arco top-tier play.
Well, Manny Margot, obviously at 0-2, you were sitting there going, wow, you shouldn't have taken that second pitch fastball, but he slashes the ball down the line, competing in the batter's box, and with 2 strikes, what a huge hit for not only Manny Margot, but the club.
All smiles for Manuel, and there should be. Ellis got himself to third base. And now all kinds of options for Andy Green. He loves to squeeze. Lauer does have 1 sacrifice bunt this year. He's also got a double under his belt. And he takes outside, ball 1.
I tell you what, Jesse, early in this ball game, Lance Barksdale, the home plate umpire, been very good on both sides of the plate, making Harvey throw strikes.
Gets the edge there, 1-1. Mets had asked Matt Harvey to go down to the minor leagues, work as a reliever, try and figure some things out.
No, thank you.
Exactly what he said, and they designated him for assignment. Next thing you know, he was traded to the Reds. Schebler coming over towards the line. He makes the catch. Ellis going to try and score. He will. Both runners tag. Eric Lauer with his first major league run batted in. And the Padres lead 4-1 here in the second.
Now, very impressive by Eric Lauer. That first pitch strike, and then he goes to hacking on the outside part of the plate. This ball looked actually off the plate and drives it far enough to score A.J. Ellis easily. Added run for the Padre offense.
That was only the first out of the inning. Nice job by Eric Lauer helping himself. Runner on third, 1 away. Jankowski's already scored a run tonight. Reached on an error, put a bunt out in front of home plate, and the catcher Casali couldn't handle it, threw it high to first. Runner on third, less than 2 out. Not a ton of opportunities for Jankowski this year, but that'll do. Base hit, right field. 5-1 San Diego in the second.
Now, this is when you're Jim Riggleman, the Reds manager, you're wondering, hey, what's going on with Matt Harvey here? Seeing that fastball that doesn't have the typical finish. Guys are starting to square him up a little bit, too.
.40 pitches now for Harvey here in the second inning. And still only 1 away. So Jankowski at first has already stolen one base tonight. He did it the first pitch in Hosmer's first at bat. Not running this time, and they pitch out. Boy, you see so few pitch outs.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect time for Travis Jankowski to lock in again. He's not afraid of pitch outs as well. If you get a good jump, his speed's going to beat it anyway. I think this is when you got to push the pedal to the metal.
4-run lead here in the second inning. A 4-run inning. Not going. And Hosmer swings and misses. Firm changeup from Matt Harvey had him a little bit off balance. 1-1. Aaron started off slowly here at Petco this year, but picking it up. Great numbers in the last 4 games. And really, you go back even further than that here at home. It's come a long way. Decent move from the right-hander, but Jankowski had it well read. Padres scoring 5 times in the first inning and a third against Matt Harvey, and Hosmer has not been a part of it yet. Ground ball, stabbed by Votto. Did they get the out at second? They did. What a play. Hosmer reaches on the fielder's choice. Jankowski will wait and see if they want to challenge him.
I tell you what, Jesse, I was surprised that Votto went to second base because of Jankowski's speed. Nice play going to his right. He comes up, doesn't even wait. But Travis Jankowski does not slide, and you wonder if they're going to take a look at that. Don't think so. Travis has to slide there.
So Jankowski out on the fielder's choice. Now Jose Pirela will stand in as the 8th man to bat this inning against Matt Harvey. He's about to throw his 25th pitch this inning. So we're talking about Harvey, and the Mets wanted to send him down to the minors and work as a reliever, and I think his perspective was, well, how am I supposed to get better if I'm coming in for an inning or 2 here or there? Obviously, also, he didn't want to go to the minors. So they DFA'd him. They traded him for Devin Mesoraco, backup catcher. And he's actually been, pretty solid for the Reds. And you got to figure at this point, Cincinnati, like the Padres, kind of in a rebuilding type of mode, looking to fix him and flip him. But the Padres have seen him well and really jumped on him from the get-go here tonight.
Well, you look at the landscape of baseball, there's not many teams that are out there that can dominate, but there's starting pitching in clubs that have gone through injuries. You look up north, the Dodgers have lost a lot of their rotation. A lot of teams looking for starters and healthy starters.
Pirela drove in the first Padre run with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. And it really was a phenomenal start to the career for Matt Harvey. 2012 to 2015, ERA of just over 2.5. But the last 3 years, 5 3/4. Strikeouts way down. Look at the opponent average.
And you know what? It's a lack of velocity with the injuries. It's not a upper 90s to triple digits with the fastball.
Yeah, he's a thoracic outlet guy like Phil Hughes, like Clayton Richard, like Tyson Ross. You got a whole support group down in the Padre dugout. It's one of those new procedures, and those are 2 of the big success stories for it. They basically take out your top rib, free up the nerves, and I think what we've seen from those guys is you don't come back the same right away. I think that's part of what Harvey's working through as well. Another 0-2 to Pirela and another foul ball.
Well, Jesse, with that injury, you also understand the work ethic and what that entails. Clayton Richard and Tyson Ross are going to put in the work. Well, some of the concerns is Matt Harvey, not only on the field, but off the field. And there's been some issues that have been documented. That's something that I think is a concern for a lot of organizations.
Hey, talked to a lot of people. They say he did get caught up in the New York thing as a young guy having success in that city can. Pirela, hard hit to left field and caught. Nice running grab by Duvall to end the second inning. But it's a big second inning. Padres score 4 times and lead 5-1.
Linden, who threw out the ceremonial first pitch today in anticipation of the Rock and Roll Marathon tomorrow, and you are the perfect person to do it. Winner of this year's Boston Marathon, first American woman to do that since 1985. I got to start with that, Desiree. What was it like crossing the finish line?
Yeah, it's a pretty unreal experience. I mean, I put my lifetime into this distance and this race, and to have the result that you've been dreaming of your whole life come true, it was storybook stuff.
People see the celebration, but they don't know what goes into it. I've read that you train 100 miles a week. Can you talk a little bit about that preparation?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a full-time job, and I'm supported by a great shoe company out in Seattle called Brooks, and I just plug away miles, about 130 miles a week, and it's run hard, recover, sleep, and that's what I do. So it was great to have it all come and mean something on that day.
Chula Vista native, Hilltop High School alumni. How's it been representing San Diego in this process, and even tonight throwing out that first pitch?
Yeah, standing on the mound was really cool. A lot of pride for the hometown, and to get back here after being gone and training in so many different places, but to represent this area always a special place in my heart, and tonight was really cool to kind of celebrate that.
And your first pitch went pretty well. I mean, you got it over the mound, right? Like did you practice for that?
I went in with a cold arm, but I did a respectable job. You know, I didn't bounce it, and the catcher didn't frame it right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make excuses. It was a solid pitch. It could have been better.
We're going to go with that. We're going to go with the catcher not framing it right. I like that answer. Now, you'll be in the Rock and Roll Marathon tomorrow pacing a group, right?
I will. I'm running with the 2-hour half marathoners, and I'm going to just try to help them reach their goals and have some success out on the course.
I think they will be very inspired seeing you pacing them. Desiree, thank you so much. And Jesse, Mark, I'm guessing neither of you are running that marathon, but you will be cheering along the people who are.
Nope, no running, no running. By the way, that is so cool.
It's so cool.
You got Desiree, you got Meb. You know, San Diego very well represented in the marathon community. And she's blaming Adam Simber. He's a pitcher, for goodness sakes. He's not supposed to be able to frame it. Oh, that's outstanding.
Congratulations, Desiree. I spent a lot of my youth, because I was back east, going to the Boston Marathon. Absolutely loved it.
Patriots Day.
Handed out water, felt like I was part of their running.
Really?
I didn't want any part of distance running.
No. You know who is running in the Rock and Roll Marathon tomorrow? And by the way, programming note, that's a base hit up the middle for Joey Votto, his first hit of the series. Game tomorrow, 3:10. So Padres Live pregame show at 2:30. Normally, of course, a 1:10 game on a Sunday, but with the marathon finishing up downtown just a few blocks from here, the game pushed back till mid-afternoon tomorrow. So
we have some participants that are
yes,
very much interest with us.
Mark Grant, his lovely wife Mary, and their wonderful daughter Alexis are both running in the Rock and Roll Marathon tomorrow.
Love that. Good luck, Alexis. Mary's a saint, by the way.
To deal with him.
We love you, Mary. Good luck with the run.
Very cool. Very, very cool. It's a great event. And I'll be sitting here. I'll be sitting here while they finish.
For all the people that are participating tomorrow, it's a great event. Rock and Roll Marathon. Get your rest.
Don't get tricked by the AM PM on the alarm clock. Get the backup wake-up call.
That would be stressful.
2 balls and no strikes to Suarez. He walked his first time. Lauer pitching with the big 4-run lead. Struck out Peraza to start the inning. Votto's 2-out single prevented him from retiring the side in order. And now 3 balls and no strikes to Suarez.
Well, Suarez 43 RBIs, and Joey Votto's in scoring position there for Suarez. So why don't you pick your choice? And Adam Duvall, who struck out looking last time, probably a better option.
All 3 of Lauer's strikeouts have been punch-outs. There you go, number 5, got him. Eric Lauer does it again. This is his 8th major league start. He has picked off 5 base runners. Joey Votto, the latest victim. MLB At Bat is your #1 app to watch live Padres baseball. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Padres home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Christian Villanueva leading off against Matt Harvey, who just had a 30-pitch, 4-run second inning. And at the top of the zone, Villanueva sees the count even 1-1. Christian popped up to Joey Votto, his first AB, but doing a nice job so far this week. And hard hit ground ball to third. Eugenio Suarez throws him out, 1 away. How about Eric Lauer? That move is unbelievable. That's his 5th pickoff, as we said. Now tied for the most in all of baseball.
Yeah, and the timing is everything for Eric Lauer, too. 3-0 pitch. Watch the move. Looks like he's delivering to home plate and catches Joey Votto napping. As you said, Jesse, that was his first hit in this series, and you typically get a veteran guy that's napping in that situation. There's no way he's running. Joey Votto with 1 stolen base on the year.
It's such an incredible weapon. And, you know, we talk about it a lot, obviously, with Clayton Richard as a ground ball guy. There are a lot of hits against him. But he comes up with those double plays. He comes up with those pickoffs. And they can completely change the complexion of an inning and therefore a game. And I know that Clayton has worked with Lauer and Lucchesi. You know, the story of those guys getting together in Indiana this winter has been well told. Reyes stings another one. And Franmil 2 for 2. A rocket up the middle in the second inning, and now an opposite field base hit here in the third.
Well, you got to love the first 2 at bats. The first at bat, the scorcher was on a fastball. This is a breaking ball going the other way. When you could back a ball up like this and have that approach, there's damage to be done. Halfway to the cycle. Excuse me, 2 singles. He's got a couple more bats.
Yeah, he can get a cycle.
He's going to try to forecast it.
We talked last night about how the Reds haven't had a cycle since 1989. Today is the anniversary of that. I saw it was against the Padres.
Eric Davis, right?
Yeah.
What
Got
a
the
talent.
triple in his last at bat. Oh yeah.
If you get to see Eric Davis this in walking around the ballpark, he looks like he could play right now.
Those guys are amazing.
It really is. Ricky Henderson's of the world.
Yeah.
Ricky still wants to play. He's probably playing independent ball.
I'd pay to watch him.
So would I.
No joke. 2 balls and a strike to Freddie Galvis. Reyes started a rally last inning with his leadoff single. Freddie followed with one of his own. Schumacher looks like he could still play, although he was a couple of years ago. Command has not been pinpoint this evening for Matt Harvey.
Yeah, Matt Harvey has slowed himself down too. Working very slowly, maybe thinking a little too much.
We were talking about him appearing out of the bullpen in a couple of games against the Padres in April. I mean, again, you think about how Matt Harvey was a guy starting the All-Star game in his home ballpark, top of the world, anchoring this next great rotation in baseball, and where he got to at the end of his Mets tenure. And on April 27th, that was the first game of the series here, Mets won the game 5-1. It was 5-0 in the 9th, and he came on to pitch the 9th. And he promptly gave up a home run to Franchi Cordero. And then he pitched in the Sunday game here. It was a 14-2 ball game. And again, Terry Collins sent him out to get the last 3 outs.
That's true. That's telling.
Runner goes, and a high chopper to the right side. Only one play. Scooter throws out Freddie. 2 outs as Reyes goes into scoring position. I said Terry Collins, didn't I? He's not the manager anymore. Mickey Callaway is the Met man.
First-year manager this year.
So we left up to A.J. Ellis, 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Walked and scored last inning. Padres sent 8 to the plate against Harvey in the second. 19-pitch first inning for Matt Harvey, a 30-pitch second inning. Ellis up the middle. Oh, nicely done by Peraza. That'll end it here in the third. A hit and a man left for the Padres, who lead 5-1 at Petco. Time for the Kia drive to success. Eugenio Suarez leading off after Votto was picked off to end the third inning, and the highest road slugging percentages in all of baseball. Suarez on a list that includes Trout, Betts, Jose Ramirez, and how about Francisco Cervelli sliding into the leaderboard?
You know what the big thing is for that? Jose Ramirez has 12 more extra base hits than anyone in baseball the last 2 years.
Good curveball for strike one to Suarez. You and I were in Cleveland last year when the Padres went there in July. He might be the most underreported, discussed star in baseball. I do believe he started the All-Star game last year. There are a bunch of Indians there after they won the pennant the year before, but an absolutely incredible player that goes way under the radar.
Yeah, he does. And Francisco Lindor gets a lot of the press clippings, as well he should. Star player, but Jose Ramirez for the Cleveland Indians really sets the tone for their offense.
There's like that all underappreciated team. I would put Anthony Rendon from the Nationals on it. Could probably go on for a while. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Suarez.
You know what they call him, Jesse, too? It's those glue guys that you have to have. There's star players. They're going to do their thing. They're going to get a lot of notoriety. But the glue players like Jose Ramirez are why you win consistently.
Eric Lauer already much better than his last start. Monday against Miami, couldn't get out of the third inning. Allowed 5 runs on 7 hits, including 4 runs in the first inning. Scoreless first, gave up the solo homer in the second. And now starting the 4th inning off with Suarez, who, as you saw, is one of the more dangerous, not just road hitters, but really hitters, period, in the National League these days. Got a big new contract. Reds like him a lot over at the hot corner. And he has continued to produce. This one is well struck to left. Travis Jankowski has had a busy night. He makes the catch, 1 away in the top of the 4th inning. Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Well, it's all about Eric Lauer and the adjustments he's made. You go back to the first at bat against Adam Duvall. He started throwing the ball down in the strike zone. Typically, he likes to pitch at the top of the zone. This was the adjustment at bat for me. And if he continues on this trend, you're going to go back to that at bat and say this is the reason why he finished off the way he did.
Hidden moments sometimes can be the big moments. Duvall punched out to end the first inning by Lauer. They say he's been the bad luck guy. You see the 179 average. But he has hit the ball really, really hard much of the season.
Well, you know, Jesse, to me, that's not bad luck. When you're sitting around 180, seen Adam Duvall obviously had an all-star year 2 years ago, as you already talked about. But this is a guy that has to be able to be a little more consistent, get those needed at bats. And yes, you can be hitting the ball hard, but when it comes down to it, if you're below 200, that's the adjustment needs to be made. You wonder if he's going through injury issues. Maybe that's something to consider. Talk about Paul Goldschmidt in the game of baseball. That's very odd when you build a resume like he does. But Adam Duvall is still building his resume even after an all-star appearance.
They were hoping that his big grand slam against the Diamondbacks on Wednesday afternoon might get him going. Also had a couple of nice catches in that game, but then he wasn't in the lineup last night after they had said, well, he is going to play pretty much every day. Just off the plate, Lauer thought he had his 4th strikeout of the night. Not to be, at least not on that pitch. And now 2-2 on Duvall.
Well, again, that fastball driven down in the strike zone, a little off the plate. A.J. Ellis, the catcher, tries to buy that pitch. Onto the breaking ball.
Galvis. He has been steady all year long. A rare ground ball out against Eric Lauer, the first of the night. He's a fly ball pitcher. That's not new news. Mentioned a lot of action for Jankowski out in left field. He's already got 5 putouts here, including 1 in the 4th inning. And you certainly trust a guy like that out there to go and get it.
Hey, think about the decision making, and with Eric Lauer, the glove side command, a lot of right-handed hitters in the Reds lineup. Andy Green inserts the best defender out in left field. He's already been put to use.
It's funny because we talk about it all the time. Jankowski, we'll see him in center as we did last night. We'll see him in right. And you were all over that from before the game even started. Travis can't make a play on that one. Schebler beats the shift and goes to left. So a 2-out single. Reds have 1 run in this ball game, and it came courtesy of the guy stepping to the plate right now, the catcher Kurt Casale, who homered in his first at bat as a Red back in the 2nd inning. Well, he got Votto. He is now tied with Tehran for the lead in all of baseball.
Yeah, that's after 8 starts. Not even 8 full starts yet.
Padres now have 11 as a team. That's more than any other team. It was neat. One of the first days at spring training this year in Peoria, guys were just warming up their arms in the outfield before a workout. And I saw Richard, Lauer, and Lucchesi all standing together, and they were just doing imaginary pickoff moves in right field of field 1 at Peoria.
I'll tell you this, Jesse, it's not typical that a young pitcher, and you can add Joey Lucchesi to that as well, the running game is something that you're not used to, because these are guys that are earned their stripes, and that's not done too much in the minor leagues, even though you'll use your pickoff move. But a lot of it is holding runners, being able to change in varied times. It's the reason why Eric Lauer has this opportunity up here. He already has that.
Lauer, a Kent State guy, pitching to a Vanderbilt guy, Casale. Mentioned he grew up in Connecticut. Born in Northern California. Acquired the other day from Tampa Bay for cash considerations. 3 balls and a strike now after the 2-out single to Schebler. Casale growing up, by the way, one of his first ever youth baseball coaches, Mike Lupica.
Really?
How about that? Longtime baseball writer, author, pundit, talking head. I think it was Lauer's not his last start, but 2 ago, one of his pickoffs. He threw over twice in a row. And the first one was this looping, I wouldn't say lazy, but just sort of very casual move. And you can see he just lulled the guy into a false sense of security. And the very next one, bam, picked him off. There's that game within the game there. It's not just the good move, it's trying to set guys up. This, though, will be his second walk. And now 2 on and 2 out. The pitcher's
Jesse,
coming up.
one of those left-handers that had a fabulous move was Ed Vosberg. And it was typically, the straight leg go up and really pause. But he had that ability to, and what Eric Lauer does is drop down and be able to be accurate with that throw. I think it's the move, it's how you present yourself to the base runner. But also he shortens his arm swing, and he's very accurate with the throws. That's been impressive for me.
You'd like to see a few more strikes than balls, but obviously it's been effective tonight for Eric Lauer. And, one of those things Andy Green told Annie Heilbrunn before the game was there's going to be ups and downs with a young guy like this. We know that. We accept that. We're all right with that. First pitch curveball is a dandy and on the outside corner. It's a normal part of the development of a young pitcher. Been a nice night for Lauer. About to throw his 70th pitch. It'll come to Matt Harvey here in the 4th inning. Perfectly placed, 0-2.
Well, that to me is the pitch. We already touched on it in our tools of the trade, but driving that fastball down in the zone. So many times we talk about changing eye levels. Well, he's changed it down in the strike zone tonight.
Harvey has struck out once tonight. Lays off that high fastball, 1-2.
Yeah, if you can go north and south with your fastball, have command with on your glove side, you can pitch and you can start maneuvering through a lineup. That's what Eric Lauer has done really nicely tonight.
Harvey has 1 home run in his career as a hitter as Adam Simbert gets going. So the Lauer's up over 70 pitches, and he's about to throw his 25th here in the top of the 4th. And the thing that's probably most frustrating for him is he got the first 2 outs pretty quickly. Single by Schebler, the walk to Casale. Now the 1-2 to Harvey, and another foul ball from the Reds pitcher. On 1-2, he finally gets him with a curveball. 4th strikeout of the night for Eric Lauer. He gets through 4 with a 5-1 lead.
take 1,000 ground balls a day, and just keep going and going and going.
My whole life I grew up dreaming of that, getting that college offer. Like, I want to play college baseball and I want a team to want me. So when I got that first one, I just like sunk my face into my pillow and like screamed for a little bit. And I was like, it's happening, like I'm here. And what I've been doing's worked out.
Inside San Diego Sports introduces you to Ramona High's third baseman and pitcher, junior Derek Diamond. Shows you what he's doing to prepare for next year's MLB draft on this week's episode, airing Tuesday after Padres Live, the postgame show right here on Fox Sports San Diego. Derek Diamond, great baseball name, from Ramona. 5-1 Padres in the bottom of the fourth inning. Margot, Lauer, Jankowski due up against the Dark Knight.
I'm excited for the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. Padres have a top 10 pick. They got a bunch in the top 85, and they will try and add more and more to what is, by most outside standards, the top farm system in all of baseball.
Yeah, surplus. Yeah, you think about from the Padres fan perspective, a lot of excitement moving forward. But this is a very important time for the Padre organization.
You saw the Margot's heating up. He doubled his last time. This time, it's Jose Peraza making a nice play over at shortstop to get him. So a 2-run double and a run scored for Manuel in his first AB, now 1 for 2. And you had Adam Simber throwing in the bullpen at the top of this inning with the pitcher spot due up second, but Eric Lauer is going to hit for himself after getting through the fourth.
Yeah, you think about how imperative it is for a young pitcher to develop in the game. It's all about, when it comes down to results and the opportunity to have a good taste in your mouth leaving this game.
What do you remember about, not necessarily the draft itself, but that whole last, I don't know if it's months or weeks leading up to it?
It's an exciting process because you just want that opportunity, you want that chance. The anticipation is exciting. This day and age, you go online and you can see videos of certain players, and it's totally a different ball game now. And where you slot, how much money you want to make when you're a top pick, that influences a lot of decisions from organizations. Very different from when I went on in the draft.
Was it a conference call back then, one of those?
I think it was a telegram.
Western Union here.
Yeah. No, I got a phone call. Yeah, the horse and carriage and buggy ended up dropping by my house.
How much of a sense did you have going into it of where you might end up going?
There was a lot of hope.
Yeah.
I mean, top 10, I was hoping in top 10 rounds I'm talking about. It wasn't a first round pick. Came out of University of Maine, so they didn't believe we even played baseball up there.
Only 2 months out of the year, right?
We threw snowballs to warm up.
Heck of a major league career. 9th round pick by the California Angels.
Isn't that interesting?
Not the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Orange County of Southern California, but the California Angels, as they were called at the time.
Well, to this day, I was blessed for an opportunity, and exciting times. You know what you think about, too? It's about sharing that with your parents, because they were there first day and last day, constantly driving me to the field. So I was very thankful and appreciative of getting that opportunity go to the next level.
Whether it's Derek Diamond or some other high school stud in this area, what would you say to them about kind of balancing, you know, knowing, hey, this is a possibility in life, whether it's that college offer that Derek was talking about or whether it's getting ready to be drafted, just to go through that whole process. We'll talk about it. Scooter Jeanette helps Matt Harvey through a 1-2-3 4th inning. Padres, though, a 5-1 advantage over the Reds in Game 2 of the series. A big wave golden ale or longboard lager today. By Petco, the pet company, and by Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home runs score free jumbo jacks only at Jack in the Box. Eric Lauer, 5th Major League pickoff, 1st Major League RBI. And a 5-1 Padre lead as we open the 5th inning with the number 9 hitter in the Reds batting order, Billy Hamilton. Good curveball for strike 1. We were talking about the draft and that episode of Inside San Diego Sports coming up on Tuesday after the post-game show. Pirela's going to have to hurry with Hamilton running. They make the play. And that advice, having gone through it and being drafted a couple of times, because you got to balance the expectations. You got to balance focusing on the task at hand, whether it's your high school season or academics, what have you. What would you say to these guys as they get ready to go through all this?
Well, first of all, it's not money driven. And why I say that is it's so much about what am I going to make? How much am I going to make? You make money when you're in the big leagues. But I tell you what, if you're not ready emotionally to go into a situation where you have to be a grown man from day one, it's a very difficult task. So I say embrace that challenge if you're ready for it. But you know what? Going to college and getting that opportunity after you get some schooling, that's a pretty good thing too. And I think it's important for these young players to understand that have confidence in yourself moving forward. Even if you go into college and you skip that opportunity to go pro, you're still going to develop emotionally and around the game, and you're still going to get that instruction that I think everyone needs. So many people force themselves because they don't think they're going to get another opportunity. And that's not a good thing going into a minor league situation where you're riding buses. It's a very challenging lifestyle. And you check the numbers. It's very difficult to make it to the big leagues. So having a degree behind you is also beneficial.
Another opportunity for Jankowski, but this one's going to be over his head and over the wall and a bounce. A rule book double for Jose Peraza, and that may have saved the Padres and Eric Lauer a base when you consider how quickly he can move around. So with one out, runner in scoring position for the Reds. 11th double of the year for Jose Peraza. Talking about the draft, Padres, as we said, top 10, going 7th overall. Coming up this week, and you can check all the mock drafts. It's like the NFL now. They're everywhere. You can read the names. Oh, yeah, Liberatore, whoever. He's just the first name that popped into my head, by the way. That's not inside information.
Yes.
I'm just... Mackenzie Gore last year. It's a very exciting time for those guys.
Well, a lot of change of life when it comes down to getting drafted, especially in that first round. It's an opportunity for a young man to change not only his life, but possibly his family's life as well.
Third time through now for Eric Lauer. He's got Scooter Gennett up there, a double and a flyout. Over 80 pitches for the 22-year-old left-hander who will tomorrow be the 23-year-old left-hander. Happy early birthday, Eric. Get you through 5, chance at a win here on your birthday weekend. Up to 343, Scooter Gennett. I don't know what Matt Kemp has done or not done so far this afternoon in Denver, but two of them duking it out. He apparently has hit a 2-run homer.
2 for 3.
There you go. So they're jockeying back and forth. That's where Orsillo is, by the way. Looking at that Dodger Rocky game for Fox. Donald will be back with Mark Grant on Monday. Peraza at second, 1 away. Lauer ahead of Scooter Gennett. Talk about the draft. Gennett, 16th round pick. Peraza, the base runner, signed as an international guy as a teenager. What a journey to get to the big leagues for all these guys. 2-2, reaches for it, and Galvis will go to first base. That's out number 2 as Peraza goes to third. Time to answer our Valley View Casino trivia question, and we get the opportunity to share our guesses. It was a great question. Name the reliever who had the most 3 or more inning saves in Padre history.
Your guess is first.
It was Goose Gossage, was just the easy one that popped right into my head. What about you?
Go Raleigh Fingers.
Oh.
What?
Look at you. 36 in his career, 10 with the Padres over 4 seasons. Just the way Goose talks about it, he figured every save he ever had, was 3 or 4 innings. It was a different time, there's no doubt, but it's funny because that's what a closer, if they even called him then, was at the time, right? It was a guy who went out there, he got, 7, 8, 9 after the starter went 6, or 8, 9 after the starter went 7. And not as frequently, obviously, as guys today. Jankowski giving it the look, and Votto is out as Travis has a mild collision with the wall. Lauer is through 5. Put you the way back machine, not too way back. 2 years ago here at Petco Park. First inning of the All-Star game and right over the Qualcomm side. Eric Hosmer, Oppo, said that a few times this year, homering right here at Petco Park. He'd always hit well here in the All-Star game, in the World Baseball Classic, and a few at-bats as a Royal, and now he's starting to hit well here as a Padre. That's what is most important. Looking for his first hit of this game as the Padres try and add on against Matt Harvey in the 5th inning.
Well, you knew it was a matter of time. And you have to embrace hitting here at Petco Park, not known for a place where you can drive, hit for power. But it's a fast track. It's a beautiful field, great hitter's background, and a lot of space in the outfield.
You got acreage to work with, and he really does work with it. View from the Western Metal Building down the left field line. Hosmer has not been a part of any of the Padre run scoring tonight, and that's a little bit unusual in a game in which they're having success. The story has kind of been so far this year, how he goes, so go the Padres. His numbers in wins are through the roof, hitting close to 400. And when the Padres don't win, his batting average closer to 200. Maybe oversimplifying things, but I can make some sense when you consider he's best hitter in the lineup most nights.
And you know what, the leadership qualities and what goes into that too. A lot of guys in that locker room are following suit. You need an example in that locker room. Translates into the dugout and onto the field.
It's funny because last night Walker Lockett made the big league debut, and obviously it didn't go perfectly for him by any stretch of the imagination. Went 3 2/3, and I think a lot of veteran position players might be like, oh man, you know, that was rough. You know what Eric Hosmer said after the game last night? There's a base hit. Jeanette extended, couldn't make the play. So Hosmer boards safely for the first time in this ball game. Eric Hosmer, when asked about Walker Lockett last night, he used the word exciting to talk about how much fun it is for him to see these guys come up, make their major league debuts, try and figure things out at the major league level. He seems to genuinely enjoy not only watching guys go through that process, but being a part of it.
Oh, that's how he was raised in the game with the Royals. A lot of those guys, Moustakas, Salvador Perez, all those guys coming up at the same time. He knows how important that is for this organization to have waves of talent. And you get that by having opportunities that Lockett had last night. Guys that are in the minor leagues now saying, hey, why not me? I think Hosmer understands that what he signed on for is to be a little bit patient, but also be excited for young talent.
Perella drove in the first Padre run with a sacrifice fly off of Harvey back in the first inning. Jose Castillo recalled today from AAA El Paso. When he appears in a game, it'll be his major league debut. Another guy to do so. He'll be the 9th Padre, 7 of them pitchers, to make their big league debut here in 2018. And again, you have a veteran guy who's been through all of this before and made it all the way to the top of the mountain with Kansas City, doing it again and smiling all the way through it.
And you know what he does too? He talks to teammates. It's not necessarily hitters with hitters. It's not Clayton Richard and Tyson Ross' responsibility for the pitchers. Being a good teammate is being there for the other 24 guys and everyone else that's in the locker room that's part of that process.
Perella shoots that one the other way. It's a foul ball, and I don't know, 20 feet off target for what would have been his first home run of the year.
His last at bat after the sacrifice fly in his first at bat was a scorching line drive to left. I think Harvey's trying to stay away from Perella here.
Approaching 90 on the pitch count in the 5th inning. And a hard hit grounder. Jeanette with the backhanded second. Nicely done. Perella runs hard all the time. He'll beat it out. So Hosmer out at second base. Perella at first, now 1 away. That was a slick defensive play by a second baseman known much more for his bat than his glove.
You know, there's little things in the game as we take a look at this turn in the middle of the diamond. But Jose Perella understanding the situation, always hustling. It took time in the middle of the diamond, but it didn't take too much time for Jose Perella to hustle all the way down the line, staying out of that double play and extending the inning. I love that effort.
Yeah, it's fun to watch him out there. I mean, every base hit, you know, routine ground ball to left field. He is digging hard, making a wide turn. Now he's trying to steal a base. Throw down from Casale, not in time. Jose Perella with his 4th stolen base of this season. 2nd of the night for the Padres. Jankowski picked one up in the 1st. And now a 1-out runner in scoring position.
You know, certain things about winning ball games, this is a winning play. Why? Because you beat out the double play, and that first pitch, you don't waste any time, and you steal the base. See Perella with a good jump and the nice slide into second base.
Question will be the tag, and I believe the Reds are going to challenge this one. Jeanette did not give up on it, even though it was off target. He caught him on the right heel, I think. And the question will be whether that took place prior to Jose getting to the bag. This will be a great look at it. And he may be out. Assuming he did get him on the right heel and that they are convinced of that in New York City. So the Reds using their challenge here, and I think it's a good challenge, both when you consider how close it was and the situation in this game.
Yeah, it sure is.
Second base umpire Carlos Torres made the call. Paul Nart is the crew chief, so he's on the headsets with them. And another great look at it here.
Yeah,
does he
apply.
get?
Yeah, right on that right cleat.
Game of inches, they say, maybe less than that here. Perella certainly wasn't sure. You saw the look he gave the umpire when he got to the base. He was waiting to see whether he was going to be safe or out. It's very, very close. Won't take too long. That's always appreciated. And he's out. So Jose does not pick up what would have been his 4th stolen base of the year. He's now got 3 and been caught 3 times. Base is empty, 2 out. And Villanueva restarts his battle here with Harvey. 95 on that fastball. On 1-1, he launches it down the left field line, but out in front, it's foul. Padres got an unearned run in the first. They added 4 in a big second inning. Since then, Harvey has settled in a bit. And now 2-2 on the Padre third baseman.
Yeah, mixing the changeup, but also the cutting fastball. Not just trying to pump in that 92 to 94 mile an hour heater.
Ball has been in play a lot tonight. Only 2 strikeouts for Harvey. Lauer's got 4 for the Padres. And that is number 3. So Harvey gets the caught stealing to help him out. Go to the 6th, still 4-5-1. Jose Perella just missed his first home run of the season. Good enough for a sacrifice fly. In the top of the next inning, though, in his first at bat as a Red, Kurt Casale goes deep to tie the game at 1. Padres would pour it on in the second inning, though. Manuel Margot got it going with a 2-run double. And then Eric Lauer picks up his first major league run batted in, a sacrifice fly to plate A.J. Ellis. Jankowski's RBI single would bring home a 4th run in the second inning. And the Padres a 5-1 advantage as we go to the 6th inning. The night is done for Eric Lauer. It may be done for Matt Harvey. They each go 5. Ramil Reyes, couple of hits and a run scored, and Margot with the big hit so far for the Padres here tonight as they try and even up this series. Adam Simber on to face the Reds for the first time, and Eugenio Suarez looked a little bit uncomfortable on his first offering.
Working his 24th game, as you can see, a workhorse out of the bullpen for Andy Green.
3rd most appearances in the Padre bullpen, and another one of those guys to have made his major league debut this year.
Our last inning of work was against Miami in the 2nd game of the series. 1 inning and 1 strikeout.
On 0-2, a foul ball straight back. My favorite Adam Simber note. which we talked a lot about at the beginning of the season. And I haven't mentioned it in a while, so I'll throw it out there. He is the first guy ever to wear number 90 in the major leagues. Hashtag history.
I love the hashtag. And do you know why he chose number 90? Don't know that.
I don't think it was a choice. I think it was just kind of the spring training high number. And he said, yeah, this is what they offered me. Yeah, there were a few choices. I figured I'd stick with the high number. Freezes a Eugenio Suarez. Strikes out the first guy he sees, one away in the top of the 6th. Phil Maton did that last year, 88.
We see Adam Simber pounding the top of the strike zone. Typically, sidearmers like to throw down in the zone. That upshoot fastball freezes Suarez. He didn't like it by Lance Barksdale. He asked him a question after that punch out. Barksdale's been good. He's had a consistent strike zone all night.
Yeah, not many complaints at all. Here's Adam Duvall, and he wants to take a look at Simber. You're right, though. Both he and Kaz Makita, who's been up and down from AAA El Paso this year, are sidearm submarine guys who can work up. Very unusual. Quickly, 0-2 on Duvall, and I imagine the first time you see an Adam Simber, it's not the most comfortable AB ever.
It can't, and it's really all about picking up that release point. You don't get to see many guys. You're going on a scouting report and tendencies. But the big thing is it's deception with the delivery, but you can't see that arm swing. And then you try to pick up that box where he's releasing the pitch. And sometimes it's too late.
Simber punched out Suarez to start the 6th inning. Now ahead of Duvall on 1-2. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Adam Simber.
Jesse, when you pitch inside, you expose the hitters to the outside breaking ball. It's exactly what he does. He set this pitch up. What a great sequence. And this is him coming right at you. Good luck to you.
No thanks. Now a left-handed hitter, Scott Schebler. And strike one. As you might expect with a side armor, left-handed batters are hitting better against Simber this year than right-handed hitters. Big shift on the right side. Galvis stays home. And an elevated fastball, 0-2.
You know, asking a lot of the Padre brass in spring training, what's the difference of Adam Simber getting an opportunity to be in the big leagues and making that first opening day roster? Pitching inside. That's what he has done to both hitters.
No balls and 2 strikes in the air foul.
A certain aggressiveness that you have to have. It's a trait that I think all pitchers don't have. But from a hitter's perspective, that's uncomfortable when guys crowd you. That's the first thing. You don't want to get beat by that fastball, so you cheat on it.
It's a unique setup, a unique finish, and a unique story for Adam Simber this year. It's been wonderful. Fastball got away on 0-2. So after striking out Suarez and Duvall, he hits Schebler. And the Padres still in search of their first 1-2-3 inning of the night.
Well, gets away with him. He wanted to elevate this pitch and just pulls it right into the back of the shoulder.
Now the catcher Casale. He's had an eventful night. Homered and walked, and behind the plate committed an error on a bunt by Travis Jankowski in the bottom of the first inning. Travis would come in to score the first run of the game. Reds have cycled through backup catchers like crazy this year. Mentioned Mesoraco traded to the Mets in the Harvey deal. They had Tony Cruz up here until just a couple of days ago. He was with the Padres in spring training last year, played at El Paso. And now they're giving a look-see to this guy. If Simber can't get him, perhaps Matt Harvey would hit for himself. A lot of Hawaiian shirts in the crowd. That was the giveaway tonight.
A lot of scooters, too.
You got to be careful. Payoff pitch is rocketed to center field. That gets down for a base hit. Schebler's going to get all the way to third base, and we'll see if Jim Riggleman rethinks having Matt Harvey hit for himself. Yeah, he'll call him back to the dugout. And in a 4-run game, Jesse Winker is going to get the opportunity to hit here with 2 outs and runners on first and third. Harvey threw 93 pitches. We may never know if he was going to come out and pitch the bottom of the 6th, but Darren Balsley's out there to chat again, this time with the reliever Simber. So you got the pitcher in the on-deck circle, but I imagine Winker probably knew there was a good opportunity for this to happen. How do you sort of go about your business to get ready for this moment?
Well, you anticipate it. Now, obviously, Jim Riggleman's the manager, but you have to manage along with him. Very difficult situation for a younger player like Winker. So you'll rely on the bench coach, possibly a veteran guy that's on the bench. But with these beautiful stadiums comes hitting cages underneath the dugout that you can use and get ready for this situation.
Dylan Floro warming. Looks like he'll be the reliever as Winker, who started last night, comes to the plate with a .240 average and a homer. They want the left-handed hitter against Adam Simber. Baseball America calls this guy their number 5 prospect coming into this season. In a slump, 0 for 3 last night and only 5 for his last 32. Bats here in a big spot in the 6th inning. Runner at third is Schebler. Was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs and the bases empty. Casali at first, and the 1-1 is swung on and missed.
What I like about Simber is after that hit by pitch to Schebler, he continues to pound the ball inside to lefties. Nice pitch again.
A ball and 2 strikes on the pinch hitter, and Winker fouls back the fastball. Baseball night in San Diego at Petco Park. Still plenty of daylight after this 5:40 start. One and two, he got him. Adam Simber comes back to strike out Winker, and he strikes out the side here in the top of the 6th. Arby's price is the lowest price every day. And by the Memphis Barbecue Thick Burger, only at Carl's Jr. and only for a limited time. Pick it up. Dylan Floro on to throw in the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt Harvey goes 5 for the Reds in his 5th start in a Cincinnati uniform, and the Padres in control here, 5-1.
See Dylan Floro making his 15th appearance on this road trip. His last appearance was against the Rockies. Gave up a home run to Ian Desmond, but has not been scored upon in 10 of those 14 innings.
He's got big Franmil Reyes to lead it off. Galvis and Ellis scheduled to follow here in the bottom of the 6th inning. These are the 3 guys who got the big 4-run rally started in the 2nd. Reyes and Galvis singled, Ellis walked, and then Manuel Margot had the big 2-run double. Nice night for Franmil. The batting average continues to go up. He got off to that slow start at the plate, and he's been a lot of fun to watch, not just because he can hit the ball 3 miles. Floro's first is a fastball in 1-0. There's a lot to be impressed about, I think, with Franmil Reyes. But one of the other things that's been cool with him is the sort of emotion that he brings to it. We saw him fire up the dugout after the home run the other night. Andy Green even said after the game it kind of woke the team up a little bit. And for a young guy, for a rookie, to sort of take that on, that's not something you hear about all the time.
Yeah, I think Andy Green really loves the fact that a young player like this coming up for his first opportunity has those leadership qualities and that excitement. Sometimes that takes a lot of time.
Chops this one up the middle, and Peraza will make the play. Reyes moving pretty good up that first base line. He's out for the very first time tonight. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres, and they may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
A+. Freddie Galvis, 1 out, and the base is empty. 1 for 2. Singled and scored, and is also grounded out. Floro delivers a strike. Yeah, Reyes, you know, he's kind of larger than life, and he's got a big personality to go with the big body. And the team, it seems to have really responded to him and his energy. Galvis trying to test out that left field corner, but guy with the glove makes the play. And the good news is he's not in a gray uniform.
You know what's interesting to your point, and I think Padre fans can understand this because it's a player that I remember had a lot of enthusiasm when he's in a Padre uniform. Yangervis Solarte. Everyone loved his energy, his enthusiasm of the game. It takes time to learn that. And Yangervis Solarte, when he first came over, was really quiet. Then he started getting more playing time, more hits.
Galvis again goes the other way, and Duvall reaching for it is able to make the catch. Well, Freddie's had a couple of those in this series where you thought maybe it would get over an outstretched arm.
He's starting to drive the ball, and how he's doing that is everything's collected. This surprises Adam Duvall how much power Freddie Galvis has. Everything starts to sync up where your lower half meets the hands. You start powering the baseball.
Ellis has walked and scored, also grounded out 0 for 1, and he looks at a fastball from Floro. I like the Solarte comparison with Reyes, and my main takeaway from what you said is it's only going to get better.
Yes.
There's only going to be more of it for Franmil.
Expectation gets better. Obviously, confidence has a lot to do with that, and opportunity. It's a game where you're afforded to have fun, but when you're around and you're getting that first opportunity, you have to check some boxes. You have to earn people's respect.
And no surprise seeing a big smile from the guy sitting next to him, in this case Jose Perella. He's got the high five with Eric Hosmer. Perella's not a small person, by the way. He's like a normal sized guy.
He is now.
Amazing. Don't get the call now. 3-1 on A.J. Ellis. Good to see Margot come through with the big hit back in the second inning. Ball 4. So A.J. Ellis works a walk for the second time tonight. Floro, like Simberg, retires the first 2, and then Jim Riggleman watches him issue a free pass.
That'll drive managers crazy, those 2-out walks.
Chopped on the ground the other way, and a nice job by Scooter Gennett, but he can't finish the play. Speed puts pressure on the defense. We saw that with Travis Jankowski in the first inning. We see it now with Manuel Margot in the 6th. It'll be an infield single. And now a pinch hitter.
You know, probably a play that Scooter Gennett would like to make. It was going to be a tough throw, and obviously Manny Margot's speed has a lot of influence on this play. Nice to see Manny Margot get some love on that base knock.
Second hit of the night. Gennett probably feels like he could have made the play. He didn't. And so now an opportunity to add on with Corey Spangenberg at the plate. Fastball for a strike. Spangy started at second base last night. Started 2 of the 4 games against Miami prior to that. Trying to get it going offensively. Does have 3 home runs.
Now, that's a good matchup for Corey. That 2-seam fastball, but also the breaking ball down and in.
Seen him yank a few of those out over the years. He has got the only pinch hit home run of the season for the Padres, as Craig Stammen looks to be the guy who will work the 7th inning. Mentioned Jose Castillo being recalled from AAA El Paso to sort of fortify the bullpen. Had to use a couple of long men last night. Not the case today. Spangenberg late on the fastball, and 2 runners are stranded. On to the 7th. 5-1 Padres.
By sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
It's Major League Baseball Tuesday on FS1. Matt Carpenter leads the St. Louis Cardinals as they battle the Miami Marlins. Coverage begins at 4 Pacific on FS1, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Padres just saw the Marlins. Took 3 out of 4 from the fish. See him again next weekend in Miami. See Craig Stammen right now. Padres holding a 4-run edge in the top of the 7th. A lot of goose eggs in the middle of that line score. Eric Lauer, Matt Harvey each went 5, and now Stammen for the 25th time this year.
High leverage reliever, and you can see the workhorse out of the bullpen. Stammen, Yates in hand has been a very good scenario for the Padres bullpen.
Really has been. If you missed it earlier, Brad Hand named National League Reliever of the Month for the month of May. And the first pitch fastball to Billy Hamilton is a called strike, 0-1. Hamilton tried to bunt his way on in his first at bat back in the second inning, and he ran right into the ball. Called out. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. A couple of times in the last 2 years, this year once, last year once, we have seen a Padre called out on that, as you see some of the changes. Franmil Reyes done for the night in right field. Caesar comes in to play left. Travis Jankowski moves to right. Line drive up the middle, and Billy Hamilton's got a lead single here in the 7th against Stammen. And they've gotten it wrong. There was Will Myers last year in Pittsburgh. I don't know why I can't remember the one from this year, but twice they've called a guy out. I think it was Perella on getting hit, saying he wasn't in the batter's box when he was. And it's one of those plays I don't have any idea why. It's not reviewable.
Yeah, and I think there's adjustments to be made in those reviewable plays, but when is it too much? When is it not enough is the decision they're going to have to make.
It's not enough in that circumstance.
I like that
crazy.
you get frustrated at that.
Oh my gosh. It's such an easy one to see. You know what I would take out though with replay? The guy coming off the bag.
Everything?
No. I don't mind replay. I really don't in the grand scheme. I'd be more frustrated with, blatantly bad calls on, plays at first base or whatever, but the guy sliding into second base trying to steal, and he comes off the bag by a millimeter for half a second.
I tell you this, and I'm all in replay, but I'm not all in for everything. I think it would be better if it was home plate plays, scoring plays, but home plate plays and also home runs.
That's it?
That's it. I mean, they're trying to speed up the game. And to me, there's part of plays that really don't have to be reviewable. Let's rely on the umpires and what they're doing. This is a human element game too. And I know a lot of it's controversy, a lot of people that talk about that. I think replay gets in the way a lot.
Peraza with a painful foul ball. We'll take a look at the replay.
Well, here's another replay right off the shin. Ooh, that is not good.
Christian Villanueva had a painful foul ball last night. He was able to stay in the game. Billy Hamilton had a painful moment versus the center field wall. He stayed in the game, and now Peraza trying to do the same thing here on his feet. Does not wear one of those protective shin guards.
And you know what causes that is it's just the movement of Craig Stammen's baseball, and you get outside it. Just barely foul that ball off.
Not to make light of his pain, but I do love the socks. He got Mr. Redleg mascot. I believe he's Mr. Met's more sophisticated older brother, maybe a distant cousin. He's got a handlebar mustache, so he's fancy. Looks like he'll be able to stay in. That's always good news. Hamilton had the lead single. He's at first base. Obviously must pay attention to him. 10 stolen bases on the year, including one last night.
See if Stammen goes back in there.
Ground ball to third. Villanueva gets one. Perella's turn in time. Double play.
Jesse, there's a lot to love about Craig Stammen. Obviously, you see him being able to pitch inside. He goes right back in there in a huge double play. Nice turn in the middle of the diamond by Jose Perella.
It's funny on that pitch. Hamilton did the thing where he started to go, just to kind of try and cause a distraction. He slammed on the brakes. If he was moving, I don't think they've got any shot at the force at second. So that decision works in the Padres' favor in a big way. Base is empty for Scooter Gennett. 1 for 3 on the night with a double. How's it sound? Okay. Well, maybe he broke his bat. That's as bad of a swing as we've seen that guy take in this series.
Well, he's aggressive early in the count, as you've seen already. Already 0-2. But it's the movement of Craig Stammen that has baffled to this point. Why not go back out there?
One and two to Jeanette, and another foul ball. Opponent's hitting only .210 against Craig Stammen this year. It's about even lefty and righty. Just pretty much gets everybody out. Go back to the All-Star break last year. Since then, a 1.52 ERA.
Yeah, not only did he earn Andy Green's trust, but he earned high leverage situations.
Ball and 2 strikes to Jeanette. And he got him. Down to a knee. Craig Stammen works a scoreless 7th. And we stretch. Kowski stepping in. Floro going for a 2nd inning of work. Retired the first 2 in the 6th. Then he walked Ellis, gave up an infield single to Margot before striking out the pinch hitter Corey Spangenberg. So he had to work a little bit through 15 pitches. And now Jim Riggleman sending him back out there for the 7th inning. How about the bullpen usage in this series so far for the Reds? Lorenzen picks up the 4-inning save last night, and now he's going to get at least an inning plus out of Dylan Floro.
So you say they extend their relievers.
I like it. It's old school. Raleigh fingers, like we talked about with the trivia question.
Sorry about getting that right, by the way.
That was pretty good.
I'm awful at trivia.
Did you get any help?
Yes.
Okay. That is Lorenzo, who's not in the bullpen. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not available. Jankowski thinking bunt, takes a strike. Lorenzen threw 48 pitches in 4 innings last night. He was incredibly efficient. He set down, I guess, the first 9, 10, 11 in a row before the Padres scrapped together a couple of runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. He, by the way, Lorenzen, is one of the very, very few guys this year to have used the bullpen cart at Chase Field in Phoenix.
Oh, I wish everyone used the bullpen cart. I grew up in Boston. I miss those.
Jankowski fights it off and out of play. I think the bullpen cart, to me, falls into the so bad it's almost good category, but
yes.
not quite good for me. I don't
agree.
know.
Well, I tell you what, I know Jared Hughes of the Reds bullpen doesn't like the bullpen cart.
No, he sprints it.
And I love that too.
They did a video when they were in Arizona this week. Hughes sprinting in was faster than Lorenzen using the cart. It was man versus machine, and man won.
Bring back the cart.
Diamondbacks have it. Detroit, do they have it too? I think the Tigers were the other ones to bring it in. It's funny because the Diamondbacks, they attached a sponsor to it, and like nobody's been using it. Of course. Well, yeah. There's a little roller to the right side. Votto with the pitcher covering, and Jankowski running. They can't make the play. Travis's speed strikes again. An infield single for Jankowski to start off the bottom of the 7th inning. It's our Bill Howe play of the game. Jankowski aboard for the 3rd time. Couple of hits, the air, a stolen base, a run scored. He's got speed.
How about first base umpire Scott Berry all over this? Bang, bang play, the human element. Don't you love it, Jesse?
I'm just saying, if he got it wrong right there, and we looked at the replay for 5 seconds and saw, oh no, you know what? It's a tough play. He didn't get it right.
Way to go, Scott.
You get on the head, say you fix it. It's easy, or it should be. But you're right, a nice call. Jankowski running, called strike. Another stolen base for Travis Jankowski. Picked up his 9th of the season back in the 1st inning, and he gets another one here in the 7th.
Well, there's a different purpose to Travis Jankowski's game now, the aggressiveness. And this is what you have to do, the speed element that changes games. The lean, the head first slide.
The flow.
Gotta love it. Not a hair guy.
You aren't?
No. I'm jealous.
It's gotten wavier. So Hosmer with an RBI opportunity. Tied up, 0-2. Jankowski's uniform has been dirty since the bottom of the 1st inning, and he's only added to it here in the 7th.
Get Spencer Down and his crew on right after the game.
Got a couple of days. You know, you wear the military camo tomorrow, so you don't have to rush it back for the day game. That's nice.
Those guys rush everything. They do a fabulous job down there.
We'll see Jankowski in this white uniform again, I guess, on Monday, and it'll be perfectly clean until he gets on base for the first time.
It's got spatter on it. It's a baseball player.
2-2 to Hosmer, also a baseball player, also pretty dirty. Playing first base, get to lay out a little bit. He did that early in the game.
Dirty uniform is a good uniform, right?
I think a lot of Padre fans always think of Eric Owens.
It's a good point. Actually had a night where they had the jersey and it was dirty.
Pre-stained.
It was awesome.
It's a great giveaway.
It was a great giveaway.
Maybe bring it back with Jankowski. Dirty t-shirt night.
I think we got something. We got something brewing, don't we? I say we do it.
I'll call a guy.
You know a guy?
Oh, I know a guy. Hosmer, the Padres' #2 hitter here tonight. See Pirello waiting in the wings. Spoils a fastball. You can almost see him calculating every pitch in his mind. I know you'd played your entire career in the National League, but even in the age of interleague play and everything like that, there's got to be an adjustment, especially with a lot of these relievers.
Oh, yeah.
I know Floro does have a little bit of American League time, but still, a lot of new faces. Jeanette can't make the play. Jankowski will come home and score. Eric Hosmer makes it 6-1 Padres in the 7th.
Jesse, you talk about the adjustment, and that's exactly what Eric Hosmer's done. These numbers at Petco Park are going up. 2-strike hitting, got exposed with the slider early in the count and gets on that fastball that's a mistake. It slashes this past Scooter Gennett. Travis Jankowski, who has the dirty uniform, comes around and scores for him.
He scooted it past Scooter. Pirello for 2. Sacrifice fly his first time up, and a hard hit grounder through for a base hit. 3rd consecutive base hit by the top 3 in the Padre batting order here in the 7th inning. Mentioned Floro did not have the most stress-free 6th. They decided to roll him out there for the 7th, and now some more action in the Cincinnati bullpen. Jackson Stevens up for the 2nd time tonight.
See pitching coach Danny Darwin looking on, going over some of his notes.
You think it is a little bit more work for Hosmer coming to the National League? Yeah.
It's a difference. It's a different style, different pressures, but settling in nicely. San Diego Padres 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight. They continue to up that average.
Villanueva trying to add to it here. Hosmer at 2nd, Pirella at 1st, nobody out. That run, the first scored by either team since the 2nd inning.
No, Jess, these are the at-bats I think Christian Villanueva is going to have to adapt to. You've already seen that slider by Floro that is his go-to pitch, but has the 2-seam action and has action on his fastball. To me, it's a commitment early in this at-bat to go the other way.
Lays off there and no chance to advance.
What I'm saying is if you go up there in pull mode and try for that 3-run homer, you're going to expose yourself to a pitcher's pitch. Instead of going up there and committing yourself to that right center gap. If he flips that breaking ball and it's elevated, you're taking it out. That's experience.
He's worked it to 2-2. And a chopper through the left side for a base hit. Hosmer will be held. The bases are loaded. There's nobody out. And 4 straight hits against Dylan Floro here in the 7th. Yeah. Matt Caesar, the scheduled hitter. It'll be his first at-bat of the night after coming on defensively. And a double switch being made here by Jim Riggleman. So the Reds go back to the bullpen. Padres have a 5-run lead, the bases loaded, and nobody out. pen. Matt Caesar getting ready to step to the plate for the first time tonight. He's got the bases loaded and nobody out. The new Reds pitcher, Jackson Stevens.
Now Jackson Stevens making his 9th appearance. All 8 appearances, he's retired the first hitter. Big situation for Matt Caesar to come through and add on to this Padre lead.
Caesar came on defensively in the top of the inning to play left field. He replaced Franmil Reyes in the batting order. It's a defensive substitution. Padres shoring up the outfield defense with a lead, and now an opportunity to really bust this thing wide open. We have not seen Caesar, as you see Blandino came in on the double switch to play shortstop, in either of the last 2 games, and that's a rarity. 2 full games without a Matt Caesar appearance. Usually finds his way in there one way or another. Pinch run, defensive sub, double switch, pinch hit. See the numbers on the year, 203 with a home run. 3 doubles. And always seems to give you pretty good at bat. Takes the first pitch, fastball outside, 1-0. One for 3 with the bases loaded this season, and very good numbers in his major league career. Easy to be jumpy, I imagine, when it's your first at bat of the night. The bases are loaded, nobody out, but he gets ahead 2-0 against Jackson Stevens.
Well, that's what you like about Matt Caesar. He has a calmness about him.
Talked about some of these long outings by the Cincinnati relievers. Stevens, who did start a few games for them last year, had a 3 1/3 inning appearance in mid-May. Hosmer the runner at third, Perella at second, Christian Villanueva at first. 3 balls and a strike to Matt Caesar.
Well, this is an automatic take, but it's all about that small little window that you're looking for.
Freddie Galvis on deck. On 3-1, Caesar lifts it in the air, center field. Hamilton on the run, won't get there. A base hit. Hosmer has scored. Here comes Perella. A 2-run single for Matt Caesar. 8-1 San Diego. Five consecutive base hits to start the bottom of the 7th.
Well, Matt Caesar, this is about execution. Doesn't hit the ball particularly well, but gets in that hitter spot where he can look for something. Gets in on his hands a little bit, but dumps this in for 2 RBIs.
Villanueva went to second, so 2 on. Still nobody out for Galvis. Switch hitter takes in the dirt, and a nice job by the catcher Casali. You wonder if he's even had the opportunity to meet some of these relief pitchers he's catching.
That's a good point.
Jankowski, Hosmer, Perella, Villanueva, and Caesar have all singled. That's everybody who has hit here in the 7th. Galvis trying to keep the line moving. And now 2-0. Think back to the Mexico series against the Dodgers. The Padres were no hit on Friday night, came back to win the next 2 games of the series. Past week against Miami, an ugly one on Monday afternoon, won the next 3. There's a resiliency even after some tough losses, and looks like we're seeing that again here tonight.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a club also, to be able to build that and trust that guys are going to bounce back. Andy Green's got to love that from his club.
The in-game smile from the skipper, always a good sign. 2-2 now to Freddie Galvis.
Now, if you're Matt Stairs tonight, the hitting coach for the Padres, you have to be very pleased with the fight that these hitters have shown in the batter's box, especially this inning, adding on.
And everybody has been involved. Matt Stairs got to be happy as Jankowski readies himself for whatever comes next. Caesar came through in his first at bat. Now 2-2 to Galvis, and he slaps it to third. That's 1, that's 2, and that's all they'll get, a double play. Caught it on a line. It was hard to tell, obviously, for these runners. Just like that, 2 down.
What was interesting is watch Suarez. He catches the line drive, but he takes his time and throws to Scooter Gennett. Waited until he got to second base for the force out. Freddie Galvis is hitting some tough luck. He's swinging the bat well.
Yeah. A.J. Ellis, the only Padre position player tonight without a hit, but he has been very, very productive at the plate. Walked twice, came in to score the third of the 4 Padre runs in the second inning. And that's something to wave about here at Petco.
I love the wave. You like the wave?
I'm not offended by it. I don't love it in the 9th inning of a 1-run game, but this is perfect. Jose Castillo, the big, hard-throwing left-hander, getting ready to make his big league debut. Ellis laid on the fastball, 1-2. Did you just wave as it went by?
Of course I did. I'm gonna like it and not wave.
Well, Castillo was absolutely incredible for Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic last year. I think that opened some eyes, and a steady ascent through the Padre farm system. Inside to Ellis, 2-2. So he'll become the latest Padre pitcher to make his major league debut, it would appear, in the top of the next inning. And a nice soft landing, too, for a pitcher coming in with your team up at least 7 in the late innings.
Started in Lake Elsinore last year.
He was a Storm. He's about to be a Padre. And everything in between. Ellis was a Dodger. Then he was briefly a Philly, then a Marlin. Here it comes. Get ready. Sweetie. Sheila did the wave too.
That way, Sheila.
Ellis strokes one out to left center. But Duvall is there to make the catch, and the 7th comes to a close. A big inning and a big lead for the Padres.
And it's a line drive into that circus. The Yankees in Baltimore, and Giancarlo in the top of the 3rd, his 12th home run, 31 RBIs right now The Yankees win 8-5. Stanton looks like he's hitting a little bit better. Remember how poorly he started the year. His average now up over 240, and the home runs are coming.
Yeah, you know, and Giancarlo Stanton starting off a little bit slow, coming back, but hey, he's a power hitter. And the Yankees right now, 20 games over 500. If he continues this trend, it's going to be a pretty interesting postseason.
How about this? The Yankees, because of the wacky weather in the East, the Yankees have 37 wins. The Red Sox have 40 wins, but it's the Yankees who are in first place by half a game because of the winning percentage. All righty. Back down to Jesse and Mark. Gentlemen.
Thank you both very much. And boy, Stanton, he can throw a party, he can break up a party. And now a party for Jose Castillo, his major league debut, 95 to Joey Votto, strike one.
Big-bodied left-hander making his debut, as you said, Jesse. You could see the minor league numbers, eye-popping.
And look out, Joey Votto. That was a breaking ball. Still not comfortable, 1-1.
Well, this is how you just don't dig in now, even if it's a breaking ball.
Votto crouches down and closer that time, but 2 balls and a strike. 22 years old, Jose Castillo. Came over in the Will Myers trade with Tampa and Washington back in December of 2014 and has now reached the show. Gets a fastball past Votto, 2-2.
Yeah, I think what's impressive, and we saw him in spring training, it has a lot of finish to his fastball, a carry in the strike zone. What that means to me is it's a lot of swing and miss, barrels underneath the fastball.
Castillo, the 7th different Padre pitcher to make his major league debut this season. As a reminder, the date is June 2nd. Seen a lot of it. On 2-2, Votto swings and misses. And Jose Castillo strikes out the very first man he sees in the big leagues, and it's Joey Votto. 1 away.
Well, we talked about first. He's going to answer this question for many, many years. He's going to say, I punched out Joey Votto for my first strikeout. Oh, nice breaking ball to finish Joey.
Joey Votto recently had gone 28 straight at bats without a strikeout. And Jose Castillo, first time he sees him, a whiff. Suarez makes contact, but a foul ball, and Castillo ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes. There was some real electricity when this guy worked here in the World Baseball Classic 2 years ago. And now in regular season big league action. One and 2. Suarez checked his swing, looked like a pretty good pitch, but they don't get the call. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Sweens mentioned, began the year at AA San Antonio, then 7 appearances at AAA El Paso, a 1.08 ERA, 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. 2-2, got it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jose Castillo. Got Votto, gets Suarez, 2 away.
When you think about a debut, you got Joey Votto, and then you get Suarez, who has been one of the hottest hitters on the Reds club, along with Scooter Gennett. This is pretty impressive, hiding that arm swing and the velocity on the fastball.
Padres wanted a little bit of extra help in the bullpen, another arm, a fresh arm. That's why Castillo got the call tonight. Walker Lockett, who started yesterday, down to AAA. Duvall takes 97 a bit inside. And that spot in the rotation, last night's spot basically, will come up again Wednesday against Atlanta. Andy Green said before the game tonight, probably not inclined to call somebody up for that game. Figure out somebody in-house, so to speak. Good slider, 1-1. They don't have to decide now, and obviously the way the next several games go will go a long way in determining who starts on Wednesday. And Castillo being given an opportunity with all of that taking place, and so far so good. 6'5", 246 is what they tell us about the 22-year-old from Valencia, Venezuela. I believe it. Struck out the first two now, 3-1 on Adam Duvall. Good slider, strike two.
Well, that tells us something right there. 3-1, he's commanding the fastballs all over the place in this at bat. What does he do? He steers a slider in for the second strike, setting him up for a really good inning.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Duvall is swung on and missed, and Jose Castillo strikes out the side in order in his major league debut. It was the heart of the Cincinnati Red batting order. He got Votto swinging, he got Suarez swinging, and to end it, Adam Duvall with the whip. Series against the Cincinnati Reds, and there are major league debuts, and then there are major league debuts. How about Jose Castillo in the top of this 8th inning?
That's Bobby Brown. Too legit to quit. That was legit.
Margot, after the first pitch, pops it up. That is Blandino. He makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 8th as we revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, I wanted to light up the dark night. Matt Harvey, 5 innings pitched, 5 runs, 4 earned. So the offense did their work, and then go to the defense. 6 outfield putouts, 5 came from Travis Jankowski. With Eric Lauer's very good outing.
Nice night at the plate for Travis as well, and on the base path. Scored a couple of runs, stolen a couple of bases. Renfroe to pinch hit for Castillo, so officially his major league debut is over. He faced 3 batters, he struck them all out, and they weren't just 3 average Joes. Votto, Suarez, Duvall. And it was fastball, it was slider. That was a lot of fun.
It sure was. What was impressive is getting behind Duvall 3-1. He threw that slider in for 3-2 and finishes him with that high fastball.
Renfroe hits that one, a little cue shot to third, a bobble. And Renfroe reaches. Suarez couldn't make the play. Looked a little bit familiar. Had that walk-off against Miami the other night on a similar ball to the left side of the infield.
Well, this ball had a lot of spin on it. You can see hits the glove and spins out. Suarez really has a do-or-die play.
He didn't. And an error on the Cincinnati third baseman, the second error of the night committed by the Reds. Padres had 2 last night. Reds have 2 tonight. And Jankowski, big night, 2 for 4, reached on an error back in the first inning. That's about everything you'd want to see from a leadoff man right there.
Yeah, that's what he has done. He's infused some energy at the top of the lineup, given opportunities for guys to drive runs in. And as we alluded to earlier, getting that shirt and uniform dirty.
Renfroe reaching on the air as a pinch hitter. Now Jankowski trying to add on to an already good night, but a good play by Stevens and a double play. That'll end the 8th inning, but the Padres need 3 more outs to even up this series. They lead the Reds 8-1. A rubber match of this 3-game weekend series tomorrow afternoon, and Tyson Ross has been an absolute treat to watch again here in 2018. He will take on the very exciting and talented young right-hander Luis Castillo. He's trying to figure it out at the big league level. Interesting pitching matchup tomorrow, and a reminder, Padres Live, the pregame show at 2:30. First pitch is at 3:10 because of the Rock and Roll Marathon downtown here in San Diego. Padres with the big lead starting the 9th inning, and opportunity here to continue to try things out, I think, for Andy Green and Darren Balsley. Phil Hughes will make his second appearance in a Padre uniform.
Phil Hughes, typical starter in his career, both the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins, now pitching out of the bullpen.
Came on the other night against the Marlins, tired a little bit after getting the first couple of outs, and Schebler sends this one way out over the old wall in right field. First pitch home run here in the top of the 9th inning. So Schebler hits his 7th of the year. He just jumped right on that thing. And the Reds, for the first time since Casali's solo homer in the 2nd, score a run.
Well, Schebler has power, looking for that fastball, sitting dead red, gets that one middle in and doesn't miss it.
So a pair of solo home runs for the Reds tonight. That accounts for their only 2 runs. Still a 6-run advantage here in the 9th inning. Hughes coming over in that trade from Minnesota. Orange County guy, so for the first time in his career he's been a Yankee and a Twin, pitching close to home. And he was excited about that. He said, you know, his dad really hasn't had a lot of opportunity over the years to see him pitch in person. There's a good Q&A with Jeff Sanders in the Union Tribune today. And my favorite part of that conversation involved, you know, his dad being able to come down here and watch him pitch. He said, yeah, now he's got a chance to come down pretty often and take my mom, who couldn't care less about baseball, but she likes to see me.
Mom being a mom.
Mentioned the Casale homer since then. A walk and a single, nice night. Did commit the error that led to the unearned run in the first inning against Matt Harvey. Red starter went 5. Padres starter also went 5. That's Eric Lauer. He's in line for his second major league win. This one popped up, and Manuel Margot calling for it, making the catch, one away here in the ninth.
Well, Jesse, obviously Eric Lauer, a very good outing tonight. 5 innings of work, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Only gave up a run, but the work out of the bullpen. Adam Simber, Craig Stammen, Jose Castillo with his debut. Now Phil Hughes. 7 strikeouts out of the bullpen alone.
Blandino at the bat for the first time, takes the fastball for a strike. Came into the game as part of a 7th inning double switch. 256 average in 40 games played this year. Didn't see him in last night's game. Stanford guy Blandino, but there you go, big story. Jose Castillo in his major league debut, striking out the side in the 8th inning.
I wouldn't leave either. Typically pitchers, when they finish their outing, they go in, maybe put some ice in. Major league debut. Drink it all in. That was a tremendous debut tonight.
One of the highlights of the season so far. Blandino in the air. And Jankowski, who is busy in left, makes a play in right, 2 away. Reds won 7-2 last night. Padres going to answer right back. An 8-2 lead with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Lauer started. Simber worked the 6th. Sam in the 7th. Castillo a wonderful 8th. And now Phil Hughes looking to close the door on this baseball night in San Diego. Hamilton 1 for 3 with a single. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Hamilton, and a foul ball straight back. Another 0-2 coming to Billy Hamilton, and he got him. Phil Hughes punches out Billy Hamilton to end the game. Padre offense with a big night and a wonderful major league debut for Jose Castillo as Eric Lauer picks up his 2nd major league win. Final score tonight, the Padres 8 and the Cincinnati Reds 2. Mike Pomeranz, Padres Live is next. What do you got?
Well, we're going to hear from Travis Jankowski, Manny Margot as well, but I think you're right. Story of the night, really nice effort by Jose Castillo, his big league debut, so we'll relive that and talk about Eric Lauer in a moment on the postgame show.